Hello and welcome to Doing Time with Abe Auer. I am Abe Auer. Let's do a little time together here. So thanks for watching. This is episode 3 of, I'm sure, probably at least 10,000. So this is just where I share some things that are going on in my world, in the comedy world. I'm a comic out of Wisconsin by Appleton. So, huge things, quite honestly, if we're looking at it. So this upcoming week, different comedy things I got. Tonight I'm doing a thing for... it's like a private, the 105th birthday party of the New London American Legion. So that'll be good. Looking forward to that. And then next Saturday, I'm going to be in Dubuque, Iowa at a place called The Goose. And so I'm excited because I have not done comedy in Iowa before. And I can't imagine it's too different than doing comedy in Wisconsin. But it's just kind of cool to add another state to the list. So that's pretty cool. This past week, I had open mic at Skyline, and that was fine. That was a pretty good sized crowd there, but it just seemed like everyone really had to try to work to get some laughs. I tried, I think, mostly new jokes. I did. I feel like I put the open mic to good use and tried things that were pretty much new. I ran the light. So I operated the light. So when people knew when they had like 1 minute left, but this time I brought a clock that I bought. And you could see it from the stage, which is kind of cool because some clubs have countdown clocks and they're very helpful. Some don't. They'll give you a light when you have a certain amount of minutes left. So I brought that, and people were pretty excited about it. And I was like, well, don't get too excited because this is mine, so it's not like staying here or anything. But so that was cool. That was fun. I had a little razzle dazzle to it. Open mic was good. And then last Sunday, had the show in Oshkosh with Dustin Nickerson and Chris Schmidt through Fox Valley Comedy, and that was awesome. That was Dustin Nickerson is a nationally touring comedian. He opens a lot for Taylor Tomlinson and Nate Bargatze, and I had done some shows with him before. I had asked him about some other shows too in the past. So that went really good. The set was good. I felt like as like the first comic, the host, I felt like it was. I did my job. The audience, I think, felt comfortable, and all the jokes landed. So it was a great experience. I wasn't sure how tired he was going to be. He just did like a full weekend in Chicago, so it's like a Sunday night show. I think everyone can be a little bit tired, but it was great to talk to him. I just saw him like a month ago on Nate Land Cruise, so it was nice just to talk to him again, and he was very nice, and he did a great job. He was very funny. So he had just recorded his own special, and so he'll be putting that out soon. So that was fun. I really appreciated that. Those are the two big things. So, and I just got lined up to do some more shows with Dustin in a couple next month, actually. So that'll be fun. So that's what those are things I have coming up and things that I did. So next Saturday, going to Iowa. I have other things throughout the month, but I'll talk about those next week. So what I do want to talk about now is 2 days ago I was in Green Bay. And Green Bay is very special to me comedy-wise because that is where I did my first open mic. Is a place called the Cup of Joy. It's mostly a Christian music venue, but they have an open mic, and I knew that's what. And I had been interested in comedy for a long time. Now, comedy in Green Bay, so they don't have like a designated comedy club. From what I've been told, I don't know if this is true. I think it is that they used to have a Funny Bone comedy club in Green Bay. I don't know when. That's what I have heard. And Funny Bone is a chain of comedy clubs. They have them kind of throughout the Midwest, out east, other places. And I've done one. I did the one in Columbus with Jen Fulweiler, and that was a really cool venue. They had like a little balcony up there, great wings. That was a really cool club. And so I heard there used to be one in Green Bay, but there's not. So in Green Bay, which is a fairly big city for Wisconsin, I mean, we have professional football team. There's theaters, there's independent shows, there's independent bookers will put on shows periodically. Green Bay has the Meyer Theatre, which holds over 1,000 people. The Widener Center, which is over by UWGB campus, holds, I don't know, maybe 2,000. It's big. And they have the Resch Center, which can hold lots of thousands of people. And so comedy acts come to all those. I've seen people at all of those places. And so there are venues in Green Bay that do comedy on a big scale, and just the independent shows. So, and the Cup of Joy too. They'll have comedy. Jeff Allen comes there every year. They have other comedy, a lot of like dry bar type stuff. So Green Bay does have a comedy scene in the sense of like big shows, big acts come through there. I've seen Seinfeld in Green Bay, Jim Gaffigan, Nate Bargatze, Angela Johnson, and I'm talking a little bit more about Meyer Theatre acts, just a couple minutes. But so Green Bay is at the Meyer Theatre. I saw this years ago. I saw a John Crist show. He had Caleb Elliott and Derek Stroop, and Derek Stroop just dropped a Netflix special. So he has headliners tour with him, and I was sitting there with my wife. I remember just watching this show, and I'm thinking to myself, and I had always wanted to do comedy, but as I'm watching this show, these guys up there just in their own separate way getting to the crowd, I just thought, man, I really want to do this. I want to do this. I've had this inkling for a long time, and now I just want to try it. I just want to somehow get up on stage and put some of these jokes I've been thinking about and writing down to a microphone and just see what happens. And so I remember sitting in the Meyer Theatre just thinking, like, this is it. I'm going to find a way to do this. And then a couple weeks later, there was an open mic at the Cup of Joy. My wife had played music there before several times. So I was like, hey, do you think they'll let me do comedy at the open mic? She said, I'll ask. And they did. They agreed to it. And I was so nervous. And I convinced myself this is a dirty trick, but in my mind, I'm like, oh, this will be my birthday gift to my wife by me doing open mic comedy. Makes no sense. But I had to convince myself that this was the route to do it. And so I did. I was so nervous. I mean, even all week leading up to it, I'm just like, I can't believe I'm going to do this. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But I got some laughs. And I was like, yeah, I did it. I did it. And it was a while before I did it again. But just finally getting up there and doing it, I was like, man, this was great. I can't believe I even followed through. And so I did. And that was good. That was the start in my mind. That was like the start of my comedy journey there was in Green Bay. And so just driving around Green Bay the other day, I saw several things that reminded me of all that that's gone on in my life through comedy, through Green Bay. So it's called The Apple Store, which they literally sell apples. But Jen Fulweiler, a comic who I've done some shows with, when she was in Green Bay, she needed like something for her iPhone, and she legit thought that was like an Apple store. So she like took an Uber there to buy like, I don't know, a lightning charger or something, and she's like, oh man. I remember her posting on her Instagram story, and then so when I drove by there, I took a picture of it and tagged her on Instagram in it because we still talk about that. The whole mess up with that. So that was very funny. So that reminds me of her because she was there's a little a smaller room next to the Meyer Theatre. I remember on my lunch breaks I'd walk by there and I'd see she was performing there. So that kind of stood out to me too. And then so since her being in Green Bay, her and I have done like 3 shows together, and those were awesome. That really was good for me. But that was just like a Green Bay reminder. And then on my my lunch breaks, I remember after I saw the John Crist show, I'd walk. So I worked in downtown Green Bay for a while, and I'd walk by the Meyer Theatre almost every day, and I'm just like, man, someday I really want to, I don't know how, but I'd like to perform here, do comedy here at the Meyer Theatre. Fast forward some years, and I was Dusty Slay had me on the show there when he was in Green Bay, and him and I did the Meyer Theatre, and that was like, I don't want to say a full circle moment because I don't want to sound like it's ending by any means, but that was, I guess for what I'm trying to say, a full circle moment of starting to then opening for just a great dude, someone I consider a friend, and someone who's a very accomplished comic who has multiple Netflix specials. So that was awesome. So, I mean, like Green Bay, there's just so many connections there in my mind for a place that doesn't even have a chain comedy club or an independent comedy club. There's so many connections in my mind to Green Bay. And so that was cool. That was, I was happy to drive through there on a beautiful sunny day and just kind of see those places on my way out of town. So that was pretty cool. And I have some things possibly in the works in Green Bay. So that was fun. That was fun to see that. And I think that was pretty much all. I like to try to keep this 10 to 15 minutes here just because, what's the point? Oh, and in Green Bay, there's also Epic Event Center, which is a pretty big venue too. They typically get music acts, but they have like Jim Brewer lined up to come in. They've had other big name comics, so that too is a venue. I haven't done that, but they that would be cool. That would be cool. That's another place there in Green Bay that is entertaining the idea of more comedy acts. So I don't know. That's my journey down. Oh, we had someone called the house. I thought it was like a spam call, and I guess I still don't know. But they called the house, and like I thought it would be funny. I don't know if it is, but I answered the phone and I said, "Jeffrey Dahmer Grill." No, I said, what did I say? Jeffrey Dahmer Diner. You kill it, we grill it. And then they're like, Jessica? I was like, oh. I just quick hung up because I doubt. I mean, I don't think you'd hear my voice and then ask if that was Jessica. So it probably was a spam caller, but yeah, that was pretty funny. That was a big hit. And okay, so maybe I'll see you guys here in the next couple weeks at a show. Otherwise, Abe Auer Comedy on Facebook for upcoming dates, clips. Instagram is Abe_Auer, and of course, this is the YouTube channel. So, all right, have a good rest of the week. Thanks, bye.